Welcome to the Financial Markets course. We are on session 6. This happens to be the last session of Unit 1. And under this session, we'll be considering the interest rate as well as the valuation of interest rates. So by the end of this session, you should be able to define and explain the various types of interest rates as well as calculate the interest rates from the various types of loans. So, one may ask, what is interest rate? The interest rate refers to the amount of money charged, normally expressed as a percentage of the sum of money outstanding, as compensation to the lender for the period that the amount is lent or deposited. So in simple terms, we are saying that the interest rate refers to any amount which is charged on the principal figure for the period under which the principal figure or the principal amount is lent. For instance, you have 100 Ghana cedis and you want to lend it out to a friend for a period of say a month. The interest rate here is any extra amount you charge on the 100 cedis because your friend will want to keep the 100 cedis for a month. So if you charge, let's say 10 cedis from your friend for keeping the 100 cedis for a month, the 100 cedis is known as the interest rate, since the principal figure is the 100 cedis that was deposited or that was lent out. And there are several types of interest rates. So specifically, we are looking at the 3 key types of interest rates. So the first one is the nominal interest rate. So the nominal interest rate refers to the interest rate which is not adjusted for inflation. So if we say something is not adjusted for inflation, we are saying that the nominal interest rate doesn't take into account inflation. So it doesn't take into account the inflation rate of the economy. And it's also sometimes called the coupon rate for fixed income bonds. So the nominal interest rates are the actual interest rates promised by the issuer. The real interest rate, on the other hand, refers to the interest rate that is adjusted for inflation. So it's adjusted for the effect of inflation and gives the real rate. So for instance, if you are lending 100 cedis to a friend, because you are considering the fact that in a month's time the 100 cedis could not buy something that today the 100 cedis can buy, any amount you charge, considering the fact that the value of the 100 cedis will fall in a month's time, or let's say the 100 cedis could purchase a purse today. So the purse you want to buy today is 100 cedis, and the 100 cedis could purchase that purse. But you are estimating that in the next month, since you are giving the money out to your friend, in the next month or in a month's time, the 100 cedis may not be able to, the same amount, that is the 100 cedis may not be able to buy the same purse. You add, let's say, 20 cedis to as an interest, since the purse will now be, say, 120 cedis. The amount you are charging, consideration in inflation, is known as the real interest rate. The effective interest rate, on the other hand, is the interest rate which, during its determination, takes into consideration the compounding period. So for the effective interest rate, you are not just taking into consideration inflation, but also the period, the compounding periods, or the summing up the periods and the length of time that your friend will take to repay the amount. So it is said that the number of compounding periods widens the difference between the effective interest rate and the nominal interest rate. So we have shared here that the nominal interest rate is an interest rate which is not adjusted for inflation. The real, on the other hand, is adjusted for inflation. Interest rate which is adjusted for inflation, while the effective interest rate takes into consideration the compounding periods. So we want to look at the determination of interest rates from the different types of bonds. So the determination of interest rates is based on the time value of money principles. So we are saying that based on the time value of money principles, interest rates are determined. Since the time value of money principles differ, it means that we'll have different types of determination of interest rates. So the yield to maturity on a loan can be determined by applying an appropriate time value of the principal value. So here we will look at four main types of loans which demonstrate the four main types of interest rate determination. So the first interest rate determination a loan we consider is a simple loan. So here we are saying that a simple loan is a loan that promises the holder no specific payment in terms of repayment of the principal or interest, but the payment of a one-time end of loan period amount that includes the principal and the interest. So with a simple loan, we are saying that there's only a one-time payment of the principal amount as well as an agreed interest based on the promise from both parties. So in calculating for the simple interest, we are saying that the interest rate is determined by the difference between the closing amount and the opening amount divided by the opening amount. That is how to calculate for the simple interest rate. So the amount that is going to be charged at the end. So let's say in the end, the lender says he's going to charge 150 cedis and the opening amount is 100 cedis. You divide the difference between the closing amount and the opening amount by the opening amount, which is 100 cedis, and the value you find gives us the interest rate on a simple loan. Okay, so with a fixed payment loan, it's a kind of loan that requires the borrower to make equal payments of a stream of cash flows in order to extinguish the full payment of the loan and interest by the end of the loan term. So this type of loan is common in the mortgage loan market as well as the personal loan market. So to calculate for the rate of return for the fixed payment, we can also use the so with a fixed payment loan, this is a kind of loan that requires the borrower to make equal payments of the streams of cash flows in order to extinguish the full payment of the loan principal as well as the interest by the end of the loan term. This type of loan is common in the mortgage loan market as well as the personal loan market. So to calculate for the rate of return for the fixed payment loan, you can use the internal rate of return formula, which is small a plus the net present value of A divided by the net present value of A minus the net present value of B multiplied by the difference between A and B. Next, we'll consider the coupon bond. So a coupon bond is a bond that promises periodic equal interest payments in addition to the repayments of the face value at the end of the loan payment. So unlike the other loan payments where the principal figure is paid on equal periodic periods, with the coupon bond you are paying the interest rather on an equal term, and at the end you are required to pay the principal figure. So you, you can also use the internal rate of return formula to calculate for the interest at the end of the period, as well as use the present value formula to find your future value for the coupon bond. We also like to consider the perpetual fixed coupon bond payment. So perpetual fixed coupon bond payment is a bond that pays coupon on it forever. It's also called a console. The holder of the console enjoys the coupon amount on the console forever. So we are saying that with this kind of bond, the holder enjoys the payment of a coupon on it forever. And to calculate for the premium on the coupon, the formula used is P is equal to C divided by I. Finally, we want to consider the discount interest rate. So with a discount interest rate, we are saying that it's a non-coupon payment bond that promises repayment of the face value and is sold at a price below the face value. So to calculate for the discount bond, we can use the present value formula, which is PV is equal to the future value divided by 1 plus the rate of return times the number of years. So that is how you calculate for the discount bond. All too soon, we've come to the end of session 6 of unit 1. And in this session, we've learned about the meaning and types of interest rates. We've learned that interest rate is the amount of money charged, normally as a percentage of the sum of the money lent, and is a compensation to the lender for the number of years that the money is being given out. Also, we've learned that there are several types of interest rates. Specifically, we've looked at the nominal interest rate, the effective interest rate, as well as the real interest rate. We've also learned the different types of loan repayments as well as the interest rate payment terms. Thank you and see you in the next session.